Most people buy an inflatable hot tub for the relaxation, but after about 20 minutes, that rigid, air-filled wall starts to feel less like a spa and more like a stiff plastic edge digging into your neck. That is exactly where this little bundle comes in. It is a 2-pack of polyurethane foam headrests and a pair of contoured seats designed specifically for the Intex PureSpa lineup. When you first pull these out of the box, the material feels surprisingly dense. It is not that cheap, flimsy foam that tears if you look at it wrong. It has a bit of weight to it, which is actually a good thing because it keeps them from floating away the second you shift your weight. The headrests are shaped with a nice curve that sits right against the top of the tub wall. Honestly, it makes a massive difference. Instead of hunching over or trying to find a comfortable angle against the hard plastic, you can actually lean back and let your neck relax. It turns a standard soak into something that feels a bit more like a permanent fixture. Now, the seats are a different story. They are contoured to fit the floor of the tub, which helps if you are on the shorter side and want to sit a bit higher in the water. They attach pretty securely, but you do have to make sure the tub is inflated to the right pressure for them to really lock in place. If the tub is a little soft, the seats can feel like they are shifting around, which is a bit annoying. That is probably the biggest quirk here. You have to get your setup dialed in perfectly for these to feel like a solid part of the spa. Another thing to keep in mind is the maintenance. Because they are made of this specific foam, you really need to rinse them off after you use them, especially if you are using chemicals in the water. If you just leave them sitting in the tub, they can get a bit grimy over time. It is not a deal breaker, just a little extra chore to keep things clean. The white color looks sharp and clean when they are brand new, but it does show dirt pretty quickly, so keep a sponge handy. What stands out, though, is how much better the overall experience feels with them installed. It is one of those things you do not realize you are missing until you actually have them. You are not just sitting in a plastic ring anymore, you are actually lounging. For anyone who spends more than a quick 10 minutes in their tub, this setup is a pretty sensible way to stop the neck strain and get a bit more height. It is not going to turn your inflatable tub into a high-end cedar hot tub, but for the price, it is a solid, practical upgrade that makes the whole experience feel a lot more intentional. If you are tired of the stiff edges and want to actually lean back and zone out, this is probably the easiest way to get there without spending a fortune.
Check out the video description for updated price. And thank you for watching this video.